Welcome to the Wiseman Loop channel. So this whole channel is dedicated to this one deck, Wiseman Loop. So first video, I'm go through a deck profile that I play. Of course, it's a Wiseman Loop deck. First triggers, we run Dream Dragon at 1. You don't need multiple Dreaming Dragons because you rarely need to shuffle your deck. This is only for in case if 2 of your Taros or more than 2 of Taros are in your drop zone and you don't have heal in hand. So you can just use Dream Dragon to shuffle them back to the deck and proceed to finish the loop. But other than that, you don't need this guy because you'll win first stride, Sea Breeze, or Tear, or at the worst it's second stride. Well, that second stride goes Fenrir, so it's Fenrir Loop. Next we have 3 draw triggers. This is the Regalia draw trigger. When you guard with this card, you can dig your deck, dig through your deck with 1. Then we have 4 Witch crit triggers. This Witch crit trigger is very important for the deck, so I maxed it out. So what it does is you can put this unit on top of your deck and shuffle your deck. If your Vanguard have a Witch, then you can draw a card and look at top 3 cards of your deck, put 1 card into a soul and drop the rest into drop zone. This skill is very good in this deck because if you look at top 3 card and one of them is Taro, then your win, you just like one step closer to a win condition. If you manage to pull this out for like twice or 3 times during like before strides, then the game is pretty much done. Well, other than if you're like really unfortunate, all your combo pieces end up in damage zone. That's something else. We have 4 heals. Waiting for that GBT14 heal that digs your deck through by 1, and not this card. So this card only soul charge itself, but like the universal heal, which all clients got, that can just bind 1 in drop and bind itself, and then you can soul charge 1 from your deck instead. You're waiting for that for GBT14. Next we have 4 Taros. Win condition, max of 4. And we have VV Rabbit. This card is not your first Vanguard. Your first Vanguard is always Taro. So don't run this card. This card is just in your deck. The reason I run this card is it searches for win condition, which is the Wiseman, and it shuffles your deck. I'll explain why the shuffle deck part is very important. Yeah. Later on, I'll explain why shuffle is important. Well, not stacking. It's not because you want to stack your deck. Okay, you're not trying to cheat here. So next up we have 4 Gilgias. Bump up your Wiseman, soul charge combo pieces, and yeah. Max Strike Fodder at 4. Search for your main ride, and it also shuffles. It also searches for the new Fenrir. Three Perfect Guards. I prefer this Perfect Guard because when you guard, it digs through your deck for 1, and if you have a same copy in your soul, it digs through your deck for 2 more. It just really helps for the win condition, and yeah, better than the counter charge one. White Cornell helps with the gear matchup and the Grand Blue matchup. Just protect your Wiseman. A funny thing is if they hit around this, you shuffle and you flip top card. If you end up calling this again, this 1 card basically just blocked 2 hit arounds. Well, that's like rarely happens, but it does happen sometimes. For Valencia, the Witch draw trigger. No, the Witch agree 1. No draw trigger. One mistake. I'm not running like 7 draws. 1 parkour. deal with the Link Joker. You can change this card to one more Grappa. I run Grappa at 3. If Link Joker is out of meta. But as we all know, Stargate is coming, and there will be a lot of Chaos Breaker close. And Chaos Breaker Deluge and everything like that. Well, one thing about parkour versus Link Joker is that Chaos Breakers can field lock you, right? And that's very bad because you have no place to call parkour. But then you still need to run him at 1 just in case if they only lock the front row. Yeah. Alright, but Messiah's the parkour wasn't that important because Messiah can't force lock front row. Just be careful with that. 3 Grappa. 4 Flying Lopping. This card digs through your deck for 3. If you have same copy, it digs through for 4. The problem with this card is you might end up drawing into your combo pieces. So like you play this card, you still charge 3, and then you got no Taro, but then you draw a Taro. And that's very awkward, but you can prevent that by soul blasting it using your Vanguard skill or using the new Fenrir skill in your soul so that you don't have the same copy in your soul. And then use this card only for the soul charge 3 effect. Well, that's if your deck is really thin and is full of combo pieces, but it depends on the situation. We have our win condition for Wiseman. We have one of the new Fenrir. Can be searched by Strife-Otter. And this card digs through deck for 3. And yeah. This card offers this card offers so much utility that I used to run him at 2 so that I would have 10 grade 3s, but I have to make space for Connell and Parkour, so I cut this one down to 1. But this card is like very underrated and it helps like a lot of class situations. And finally we have 4 Fenrir, our main ride. A Fenrir Loop ride, a Fenrir Loop deck, if you miss right Fenrir, you are not like completely fucked. Even if you're sitting on Wiseman, you can still do the Wiseman Loop, but it's just going to be a little bit harder. Not a little bit, like it'll be very hard, but don't scoop if you ride into Wiseman or the other Fenrir. You can still win the game. It's just going to be very hard. And we move on to Jizo. So we have 2 Fenrirs. You usually just go into 1. You don't need the draw power. When you go on this guy, you're just trying to make that huge Wiseman loop. Next we have 2 tier. Again, you don't really need to, but sometimes I just get triple trigger with tier, and then it's soul charge nothing. That's very sad. That's why I run 2 just in case, since we have like a lot of space in Jizo. This card can achieve first try loop, first try Fenrir loop, and yeah. And it potentially digs through a deck for 12. Very busted card in this deck only. Next up we have Zeus Dragon of Zenith Peak Ultima. It's not out yet, so this Athena space is saved for Ultima. Seabreeze, still needed in this deck. You can Seabreeze Loop, which requires Flying Kelly, Flying Lopping. Two Ishtars. This card is for the grind matchups. So like when you match with Overlord or Gear Chronicle, so you wanna strike this card first to bait their G-Guardians and everything. But yeah, so you guys heard too that Gear Chronicle recently got Heritage and they're broken new ZTB G-Guardians. So if Gear Chronicles, I'll talk about matchups later. For now, just go through the deck profile. Then we have 2 Bending Enter. Filler. Useless. Like, well, I guess the only use for this card is to like search for heal, because this card does like technically go through top 7 of your deck, because they look at 4. You can put all 4 down and then check the top 3 again. So this card is basically for searching for heals. And then we move to G Guardians. Dismal, protect your Wiseman, win condition, so you want him alive. Air Element, Ractome. Is Ractome? Discard 1, draw 1. And it enables parkour. Two Laurier. 2 Iris.